Raila Odinga says his government to prioritize the fight against corruption and debt lowering as his tour of the United States of America enters its fourth day. Odinga, while addressing a meeting of Constituents for Africa group that seeks to shape America's policy for Africa in Washington, D.C., says what democracy, business opportunities, and Kenya's willingness to engage and trade with the rest of the globe will form part of his administration's agenda if elected into office in the August polls.
We're going to create an enabling environment because you know that one of the major impediments to investment in Africa has been some factors which include, for example, infrastructure, poor infrastructure, high cost of energy, bureaucratic red tape, corruption. Some of inhibiting factors that have hindered investment in the continent of Africa. We are going to address those issues so that we can create a very attractive environment, new environment for people to come and invest in the continent. We don't want aid. We don't want aid because aid has been pumped in the African continent. It has become a bottomless pit without much to show for it. Do not left debts. Countries became hypocrites, highly indebted countries. So now, with the changes that have come as a result of the struggle of the African people, and particularly with the fall of the Berlin Wall, that wind of change that was blowing in Eastern Europe came also to blow in the African continent. It brought down the military dictatorships, single-party dictatorships, and brought in new, more accountable systems of governance, transparency, accountability, and good governance became the order of the day. From that time onwards, most African countries have realized higher rate of growth, and it can be seen in the improved living conditions of the people. Intra-Asian trade stands at 50%. Even South America, 25%. Some people have been saying that Africa does not trade much with itself because they produce almost the same things. Then I've asked, how about Europe? European countries also produce the same things, yet they trade very much among themselves. What has been established is that inter-African trade has not been widespread because one lack of proper infrastructure. That makes trading very difficult. That's why the African Union identified this area and came up with a program for African infrastructure development, PIDA. And this PIDA has identified several components.
Odinga is set to visit the State of Department and the White House, where he will hold meetings with the country's Assistant Secretary of State for Africa and members of the Congress. Edward Sabase, Nairobi.